Good afternoon, ladies and gents. We are back at it again. Here we go. Another day, another dollar. So what are we going to do today? Today we are going to dun, 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 dun. Let's go. What's this? This is nothing. Let's delete this. Okay. Let's rename this. We'll just make this into AR, VR, AR, VR, suppliers, materials. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So plan for today, ladies and gentlemen, will be we are going to. Well, I'm gonna go get a coffee and something to eat. I'm gonna come right back up. Uh, what's up? I'm gonna break down everything that happened over the last week, where the portfolio's at. I'm gonna put together a new strategy on AR VR, and then I'm gonna head out. I am not feeling great. I do have a massive headache, and I'm feeling sick again. So I'm gonna try to pump this out as quick as possible. I don't think we're gonna make it to 4 o'clock. We'll probably be out of here by 2:30. But that's the game plan, ladies and gents. That's the game plan. Okay. So coffee, food, and then I will return. All right, everybody, let's do this. Okay, let's go here first. We'll open this up. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, and then we've got. Man, oh man. It's all right. I some of it I already knew from watching some of his stuff. At one point, he gets into evolutionary theory, which is contrary to my ethics and beliefs. But keeping an open mind and having that in the scope of he's trying to relate the evolution of our understanding of the markets to evolutionary theory. It's kind of you need to go hand in hand. You have to just kind of buckle in for the metaphor. So it's all right. It's not. I agree with him on adaptive markets being the way things are. So I don't mind listening through. It's like when we used to listen through Trump speeches, or now when I listen through a Biden speech. Right? I don't really care to listen to what they're talking about, but I can still pull something from it. Now that's not exactly a fair comparison because I do like Andrew Lowe's talks. He's a wicked smart guy, and I do appreciate what he puts out there. It's just, yeah, come in. That's not possible. You need to go look inside containers, look inside things. It's not possible because I bought the same amount of buns as there were hot dogs. So otherwise, just heat up pizza if you can't find it. All right, guys, we are getting the ball rolling here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Come on. There we go. Okay. So We were portfolio was down 28% last week when we finished the week. This week 13% is what we're down. Volume is so low. I can turn up my volume a bit. That's not going to be a problem. Hopefully that's better. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better now. But yeah, great recovery on the portfolio right now. Pretty happy with it. This is Zemetica going into the last 2 weeks of March here. Okay, so Zemetica into the last 2 weeks of March. I've got a 237 average, but I seriously think that this thing is going to go. I think that we're going to see it head for 810. Somewhere in that range. So we'll see what comes up for the next little bit, but this here, no trades, none. Psychology, stimmy is kind of okay. Weekly recap from last week. Just want to copy this so I keep the same format. Note. Weekly DD recap. Week of March 15th. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yup, we are there. Okay, recap. Let's go over the recap. We'll look at the previous week. We'll see if we had any calls last week that I was supposed to look into. I don't think there were. Weekly trades. That's going to be a pretty easy section to fill out. Review rules. We can do that. And then planning out the week ahead. Just clear these up here. Rita's back home. I think she's resting up right now. She was at the hospital for a little bit. I think they are back though at her place. So hopefully everything's going there. I haven't heard otherwise that things are not going well. I think they're just waiting on some tests, but I'm sure she's really excited to get back to it. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. I'm gonna go step by step here. So recap from the last week. So let's take a quick look. What were we looking at last week? Waiter Cannabis News, DraftKings. We weren't looking at too much. So recap on this week was really simple. Took no new trades, moved. So I am actually going to be buying Ethereum. I have the money transferring over. I don't think it's available yet, but money is transferring over. I am going to buy Ethereum, and that comes from all the NFTs that are currently being used. So as soon as I can get my hands on, as soon as these funds clear, I'm going to put them directly into Ethereum and hold that. So still not available. But yeah, Ethereum is going to be a purchase, guys. So I did do that. I did move money over to make that happen. Last week's calls, there were none. I didn't take any trades. You just took the SAT and it sucked. Yeah, we don't have that up here. Bullish on Waiter. Yeah, have been, will be. No, not as bullish as I once was, but yeah, definitely still bullish. Um, I think the opportunity for Waiter to get bought out is still quite high. I think that's just a matter of time. Yeah, we never had to take the SAT in Canada. Your grades were just your entry. There was no like test that you took. Um, I mean, what I find interesting is, I entered university for a single year a little while back, and what I found interesting was I didn't even need to finish high school. I didn't have a high school diploma. They've got the thing is called mature student entry, so all you do is send them everything that you've done as far as work experience for the past, however many years. I think you got to be 25 or something before you can do it. But if you really want to go to school, you could go into the workforce from the time you exit high school and just work for a whole bunch of time, gain the experience in your field and industry, and then go to school for your degree and then exit. I know it seems like kind of backwards and mixing things around, but um, SET and ACT. Yeah, and again, maybe students are writing it in Ontario. I just never finished high school, so I don't know. Don't know. I think maybe if you wanted to go to the US, you had to write the SAT, but beyond that, I don't, there was a hard and fast. You had to do it. Weekly trades, I took none. Didn't exit anything, didn't enter anything. Reviewing the rules. Let's go to the rules. Trading rules. I got rid of my stop rule, no FOMO, trading journal daily. I'm doing that. Sizing targets, those are still off a little bit with the Zemetica sizing being so large. Don't marry positions. I'm not. I'm trading off of my fundamentals. I'm doing that. Trade reality. I'm there. Stick to your 2 month goals. I am. Can't go broke taking profit. Ain't that the truth? Stop listening to professionals. This is in regards to listening to smart money telling you that you're wrong and nothing's going to work out. Money isn't as smart as you think it is a Peter Lynch classic, and I love it. Rise early, work hard, take profit. Definitely doing that. Consider spin-offs. This is one that I haven't put into a ton of effect, but I think there are more and more companies talking about spin-offs, so that may be something I get a chance to play into. Equity for sure is a big one. I will say though, with equity, I am moving a little bit outside where I do have a decent options portfolio starting to build, as well as a what looks like a crypto holding. So cleared from the board when you exit. I guess I'm doing that because I haven't done anything. Take your time when placing an order, definitely. No earnings. Yeah, don't plays on earnings alone. So that means, oh, don't play a run up to earnings as a strat. It doesn't mean that, oh, a company has earnings, so get out of them because you have a position. That's not what I'm talking about. No eggs in one basket. I would say that's true. Even though I have a large holding in Zemetica, I still have my starting capital from the year in other positions. So my total account value on the U.S. margin is 94,000, and then there's another 3,500 in the Canadian margin. So it's like 1.72 grand, maybe. I'd say maybe 2 grand. So back up to about 96,000 on the year, which isn't terrible. I'll take that. Will airlines continue to rapidly increase after the stimulus? I think they will, depending on the airlines. I think somebody has to be offered up as sacrifice. You put all your eggs in the GME basket. Well, go with God, my son. Go with God. Um, these are my rules, though, so you guys make your own rules. But now, before we get going into breaking the week down, let's throw the disclaimer in here, guys. I am not a financial professional. You're not here to get financial advice. If you want financial advice, I can refer you to people that are able to do that. However, I am not that guy. What I do here is educational. I just show you how I set my rules, how I do my research, how I look at companies, and how I come to conclusions for my own portfolio. That's it. How are you progressing in comparison to my scheduled plan? Right now, I am behind because as of March 1st, I should have been at 100 grand, and I'm at 95,000. So I'm not crazy behind, but I am behind. I have to be at 200,000 by the end of January, February, March 1st. I had to be at 100 grand. March, April, by May 1st, I have to be. I did withdraw some, but that's fine. I can't count that as part of the portfolio. The money's not there; it's not there. So I got 95,000 right now. I have until April, May. I have until June 1st to be at 200 grand. And do I think I'm still capable of hitting that, even though I'm at 95 right now? Absolutely. I think that Zemetica is very likely to see growth to the 8 to 10 range, which would take my position. got 23,000 shares at 237. So let's go here. 23,000 shares, average of 237. Sell price, let's say 8 instead of the 8 to 10. $7 commission in and out. So just on this, my profit would be 130 grand. Um, so just my profit on Zemetica, if it only goes to 8, um, would be $130,000. So this right here would be a big chunk of the profit to take me into my April goal. And then SNDL into legalization later in the year, I think is going to be a big play. From this, obviously, I have plays lined up that I'm planning on moving into. AQB is among those. SHG is another one. Um, SPPI is another one. There's a bunch of plays, guys, that I already have lined up to move this money into. So I'm not just thinking of, okay, where am I right now? I am definitely thinking of, okay, what's the next step and the next step and the next step? Because 500,000 is the goal for the year, to take 50K to 500,000. And then next year will be quite a bit easier as far as the target goes, where I will look to break into a million. Take 500 grand and turn it into a million. So why put a large amount of cash into a penny stock? So I have grown. For those of you that are new, haven't been here before, last year, guys, started with 2 grand, 2,200 US, grew it to $50,000. Um, so this year, so that was a 2,700% increase. This year, I set the target of going 50 to 500,000, which is going to be 1,000% increase on the year. In order to get that kind of growth in a single year, you really do need to be able to get the volume, and penny stocks provide that. Now, I have to do a ton of research. I'm up at 4:30 every morning, busting ass researching stocks. I'm here on Saturday, working again. So 6 days a week, like 14-hour days. That's what it takes to actually play penny stocks and not lose your ass in them. Um, so yeah, that's why I've had a very good success rate. I'm pretty happy with where the portfolio is. So, do I think the U.S. is ready for gene modified salmon? I don't think they care. Fish is fish is fish is fish. I think that there is a meat shortage coming, and I think that their ability to finally start selling out of their pools is going to be big for them. So, let's close that down. But yeah, so am I on track? Not exactly. I'm still about 5 grand back from where I want to be, but why did you stop streaming your 4 a.m. DD, by the way? Because I found it difficult to do the 4 a.m. stream and then stop and then do coffee and everything with my wife, get my family started, do Bible study, then do the morning call. Like it was too much stress for nothing. So I just, yeah, the 4 a.m. stream stopped because family. Um, so yeah, and I mean, you guys will remember the GME was a penny stock. Most of my growth did not come from $100 plus stocks. Most of my growth came from the $2 to $5 range stocks. And now a lot of those stocks are much bigger than that now. Trading stocks like Wader, DGLY, OCGN, ACRX. Some of those are still there. Some of them aren't. Some of them have grown. Mara back when it was $8. Um, WPRT when it was $8. Um, Trying to think of some other big ones that I've played. AMC, of course, I played. Um, GameStop. I played GameStop back when it was $8. I got out when it was 15 though, not when it was 420 or 300 or whatever. So, Huge shout out to all the new followers, guys. You rock. Let me know what it is you trade, how you found the stream. But that's it for that. That's there. We are ready to roll. SPACs. Let's check the SPAC calendar. I don't think there's anything. What we're looking for here is merger completed dates. I don't see a merger completed date anywhere here. Oh, UST had one there, which is interesting. For some reason that didn't pop up. Oh, not SPAC attack, Bitcoin, top movers. So this is one I have to populate here, guys. These were all the names at the start of the week. So we're going to go through this real quick and fill this out. Just put it there, please. Okay, and I want weekly. Okay. So this was the strategy we built last weekend, guys. Just fill this in, update it, make sure that we get everything. So open on the week would have been 380, close on the week would have been 380. So it was this. Let's just draw this down. No, okay. HKIB. Open 580, close 745. XTLB. Open 338, close 346. ERPL. Open 3052, close 3340. Yeah, Charlie, I need you to take him downstairs, please. $275, $297. I would say that at this point, guys, we are seeing conclusively that this would have been a terrible week to do this. Maybe not conclusively. Okay, we'll keep going. Open 2959, close 2705. HPR. Oh, there's two. Open 956, close 808. I don't. I'm not a fan. I don't trade on scripts. I trade on fundamentals. I'm not looking on specific price movement and most of the strategies. What's this strategy? This is the one we created last week, guys. This is the one where we take the top movers over the week and consider taking a short position, $5,000 short position against them, holding it over the week and seeing what the result is. It had a 70% win rate as of last week, which ain't half bad. But the real test was going to be this week when the market is recovering and not looking so down. Uh, do these stocks still show that same pattern of a decline after a week has passed after a massive run? So this is just a theory. 2253, 2266. IMAX. 2452. Thank you so much for the follow, man. 2452, 2345. LLIT. 815, 941. Nine 65, 1103. Oof, this one's gonna hurt. 1866, 2208. ANCN. 535, 441. UBI. 923. WTTR. 748, 675. PLXP. 829, 798. Oop, 10. Are those gains? This is the gains. This is a short strat, guys, so we want to see the price going down. 936 to 9. This was on the challenge Martini gave of if the market is about to do what we think it's going to do, and it may be imminent, it may not be. I think it's a little while out yet still, but if the market is getting ready to decline, it's good to have a short strategy ready to roll. And I think that this is a potential for that. I will most likely just be trading this in my own account, but we will see. Yeah, people keep telling me that. Yeah, no logo. I found a white T-shirt. You know what the odds of that is? Yeah, I people keep telling me that I can find a thing that auto-populates, and we tried that last week, but it was more of a headache than it was worth. And I could have entered the entire list the way that I'm doing it manually, um, faster than actually we weren't even able to get the formula to work. So, um, if at some point somebody wants to figure out the formula and send it my way, great. But I'm not going to put the time in. I'm happy to do manual data entry. 142, 138. Why am I? Yeah, we tried it last week. I spent about a half hour playing around with it and had nothing to show for that half hour wasted. So for me, I'm not gonna do it. 956 to 808. Ooh, that one's a good one. LGT. 90 to 95.60. GPS. Oof. 27.84 to 30.81. And waiter.
Do you know that Westport has earnings this upcoming Monday?
I did not know that. And how's it going, Redemption?
What a bed maybe an hour ago. Forgot that you were doing a 1 o'clock DD session.
Okay, so stop loss that we're putting on this here, guys. Why this one is different than this one is this is gains with a stop loss where we had set a 10% loss as the max and then we would exit. So $500 is the most a position can be down on this one. Um, and there are a bunch of those this week, but let's see. So for this week, this strat would have done. Oh, it's still green. Hmm. Where's the accounting for the short fee? It's not there yet. First step is proof of concept, and then I'll start calculating in short fees. But I'm almost positive my short fees are not going to be more than the 25 grand that this strategy seems to be able to gain. Yeah, so I mean that's not terrible for another week. I mean, started at 23 and up to 25. That's 10% on the week. Total trades 41 to 67. That's another 26 trades. Um, of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 wins and losses. So much lower win rate. Much lower win rate. Yeah. So on Friday, there's a list that comes out of top movers of the weekend. You take that list, you plug it in, you take a $5,000 short position against it at open, and then you close the position just before close on Friday. Um, I mean, 61% win rate's not anything to write home about, but what did the SPY do this week? Anybody know what SPY did?
It's up.
Yeah, but more than 9%? Did it go up 9%?
Um,
It started the week.
just slightly. 9.32. Oh, sorry, no, 2.4%. Just I was reading the dollar figure.
I have no idea what that is, occultist. Come in.
Did Bitcoin spike? I mean, again.
Then don't put in the thing.
60K. Of all the places I found that out, Snow, I found that out in Tarkov when I sold off some because the Bitcoin in that game is linked to real world Bitcoin prices. So I was like, wow, that's a lot.
New voila, no. No, not yet. I wanted to do this week and next week on this just to see if proof of concept works, and then I'll go back through all these data sets to see if I would have got stopped out. So actually looking at the week as a whole to see if at any point I would have been down that 500 and would have had to exit as a stop. Um, yeah,
I mean,
Occultist, I'm way more of a basic bitch than that. When it comes to Bitcoin, my FA on Bitcoin is it's going to appreciate in value to probably around 80 to 100 grand. Is kind of where I'm planning on it. So for me, it's Bitcoin go up, miners go up as a result. I trade the miners. Now Ethereum is a little bit different. The reason why I'm actually going to be purchasing Ethereum is because of the NFTs, but that's it.
um, what was it? Because you guys can't invest in Bitmain right now. One of the backdoor plays from Bitcoin is uh, Nvidia, because the graphic cards, not only is there a shortage right now, all the older cards have gone up in value. So anytime that Nvidia releases something, obviously the profit margin is going to remain the same because they have a strict pricing control for that stuff. But um, the perception of is going to be what actually helps push it.
Yeah, UMC is a potential play for me on the shortage. Sino is another one that I'm looking at as a potential Bitcoin play. Okay, but that's that strat updated at least. It looks like it's good, so I'll do one more week after that, and we'll see what comes in. But at least that strategy is updated. Weekly trades none. Key events coming up on the week. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's do this. Let's go here. Oh, it's the number one article. Perfect. That makes my life easier. Um, Monday. Car lots, desktop metal, Westport fuel. So WPRT earnings on the Monday is of relevance to me. Um, Stimmy money pouring into everything all next week. Airlines presenting at the JP Morgan conference. So expect there to be fresh ratings from JP Morgan on airlines. Eli Lilly, phase two, so I don't trade that. AMD. Here's the AMD play that somebody was just mentioning, Rizik. 10:30 a.m. on Monday is the event. Just gonna open the options portfolio here as well.
I had I don't I know you said to like keep it basic and have it as a different strategy, but like I had this thought yesterday uh, for the seasonal stuff that I was doing, and typically, we only played equity on it, right? But if it's something that's like a mainstay kind of stock, I'm wondering how it would have done if we took leap options on it.
I took leaps this week on, well, the farthest, it's not a leap because it's not a year out, but the farthest dated options I could grab on Genus, AQB,
Market
and
data connection
ACRX.
re-established.
Yeah, if you're trading XLF, you're trading with Munger and Buffett because they are bullish on financial sector. AQB guys, I got September calls for September $10 calls on AQB. ACRX, I've got September 250 calls. Those are both monthlies. And then Genus, I took puts against them, $1 puts for January. So those are the only options plays that I took. But I think that's it for the Monday. What else do we have going on here? This will be big for the gambling sector. ACRX has earnings Monday after hours. Oh, got on here, don't I? Powell's got his press conference.
You know what I should do?
FOMC 2:30. We believe Fed Chair Powell will have to strike the right balance between a more upbeat assessment of the outlook and the asymmetric FAIT reaction function. The result will be an acknowledgement that liftoff is earlier than believed back in mid-December, but that it is still later than markets currently believe.
Actually, you know what I should do, millennials? I should probably just straight up ask Velux himself because he might. I'm guess because he's been doing this for quite a couple of years. I'd imagine he had tested it at some point instead of going with equity, just going with options, just
Come in.
because of the leverage.
Thank you. Is it hot? Yeah, I want to. No, it's cold. Feel. Feel. Put your hand on it. Come on. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying that I should probably just ask Velux because I'm pretty sure someone asked if I had the idea now, and I'm a late adopter for the stuff. If I have to ask now, someone probably already thought of it or has tried it at some point because I figured for some of the more expensive stuff, like Dollar General is coming up this week and it also has earnings. I don't want to put I don't want to put like, 100 shares in that thing because that's like 20 grand right around the table.
Yeah.
If I could just throw like a leap option or something like that, that'd be a lot cheaper in terms of the leverage as well as the risk.
Yeah, and you're still in the same play essentially.
Yeah.
Except you put a deadline on yourself, but
Well, that's why I was going to take like a year out leap because typically these are 3 to 4 month swings, but yeah, a lot of speculation.
SNDL already had their earnings, didn't they? No, that's this week coming up, Wednesday. Okay, so SNDL earnings are on Wednesday. Shoot. I think Zomedica has earnings. No, they already had their earnings. There's another company. Zon IDEX. What is IDEX's earnings? Because there is rumor that IDEX might be looking to buy Zomedica. Okay. All right. So I don't. This week is pretty slow going. Other than the FOMC and these earnings events, there's not a ton that I'm watching for. Let's go to earnings whispers and see what is up there. Thank you. All right, before open on Monday, I don't see anything that's really turning my crank. After close, WPRT, ACRX. Before open on Tuesday, fuel cell. Oh, that's a good one. It is quad witching, that's true. I definitely want to put that in on a Friday. Tuesday. What did I just say was Tuesday? There's something Tuesday. Fuel cell. CrowdStrike on Tuesday. That'll be interesting. MP. I don't know MP. What is MP? Cintas. Sundial. Wednesday. Lordstown. Wednesday.
Oh God, that
Hexo Thursday. This is another pot one. So there's two big pot companies this week. Ocugen.
hit it just in case no one knows. Hindenburg apparently dropped research on Lordstown Motors or Ride.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean squat to me. Mm. This is called the Spicy Highlander Pizza. It's the guy who runs the restaurant over here is a buddy of mine. He's kind of like Bob's Burgers, but it's not every day he's got a new pizza. But once a month, he'll just kind of hop into the kitchen, do whatever he wants, and he comes up with a feature pizza for the month. This one is so good. It's like a carne asada with sour cream, green onions, and a crap ton of cheese. Um, Solarius, yeah, FedEx, Nike is always a joke. You guys want to see some funny numbers? You want to see a company that knows how to play funny numbers games? Watch an earnings call with Nike. Yeah, OCG on Thursday. Hexo guys, this is another big pot company. They're actually about a half-hour drive from where I am.
Oh, actually, although I'm in belief that most people will spend their stimulus on, throwing it at GME or something else like that.
Yeah,
Uh, the other thought I had earlier on the weekend was that what's the dumbest thing that's coming out that's in or around $1,000, retail wise, that people are just gonna go buy because, like, it's like the next Apple iPad or something like that.
I promise you that there will be PS5s all of a sudden made available next week. You will be able to get your hands on PS5s.
Destiny calls, then I guess.
Mm-hmm. If you wanted to get a PS5, you wanted to get an Xbox, Amazon's getting 46,000 new ones next week.
These are the patterns you guys should pay attention to.
So I don't know how many of you remember, but this isn't the first time the U.S. government has done stimulus checks. Bush did a rather large stimulus check. It was about a $500 check to everyone. I think that was after the Twin Towers. But he put out a stimulus check for $500. And then the day that it dropped, Costco, Best Buy, Walmart all put giant big screen TVs on for $500. It was like cash in, cash out. Now, that being said, this time around, there's a lot more people in the market, right? There's a lot more real retail traders today than there was back then. And I think that we are going to see a large amount of money. So maybe that's something that we want to look at today then. Let's go into Reddit and see what Wall Street Bets is talking about. As a qualitative FA trader, this is important. And I know it hurts everybody to go in here and look. But I think it needs to be done. Hurts because it's not in dark mode. It's the way it is, man. It's the way it is. In Australia, they're talking about making traders do a mandatory ethics test. The checks in 2020 went right into savings accounts. Yeah, sure they did.
Yeah, it went into the savings accounts and then into their credit cards.
Yeah, yeah. Some people already have it pending. Monday, when financial institutions open, they'll have their cash available. I would also say I think there's a lot of people that are probably sitting on margin and they have already spent their stimmy.
Aren't loans really easy to get to right now? Like this would be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Please do not go take out a loan to put into the market.
Like that guy who called in the other day to TSG's thing. Please understand the like if you're taking a student loan, for example, or something like that, don't be like, oh well, I got 60K, I can go blow on whatever. Like that's money you have to pay back.
Okay, so most of this is memery. Let's go in here on the weekend discussion. Biden's just going to erase your loans anyway, right? Forgiveness for everybody on everything.
Took up this long to get your stimulus check out, and that's only because everybody kept complaining.
Okay, what do I really want to see? I want to know if they're talking about Zemetica. Have I found that diamond in the rough yet? Not yet. We are going to pull up. Go to Swaggy Stocks. Um, I am going to put together an AR/VR strategy today. I'm going to look at that. But when the report came out on Friday that Facebook has 20% of their staff currently working on AR/VR, which is pretty crazy. Okay, I'm here. What do I do? Zom did not go big yet. Nope. Top YOLOs. Wall Street Bets. Ticker sentiment. Okay, these are sorted by top mentions then? Oh, SPPI might be another. I thought I took options on SPPI as well. Maybe I didn't. I could have sworn I did. SNDL, SNDL. Weird. I thought for sure I did. Maybe I just put it into ACRX instead. I can type ZOM in there. ZOM. 15 mentions, so not a ton. SNDL. 32 mentions. Okay, so there's not really a ton there, which isn't great. Zomedica. Okay, so the few conversations that are here about ZOM, it says 15, but there's a lot more than 15 here. It looks like a lot of these neutral comments are actually quite good. Yeah, I mean, for me, guys, I'm not looking for confirmation. I was just trying to see if Wall Street Bets is talking about Zomedica at all. Zomedica's really going to get big, not this week coming up, but the following week. So this week here,
Swaggy's
that's going to be the bigger week, I think.
Swaggy, from what Stoby said, wasn't that reliable anymore because a lot of them kind of like scurried off. But one thing I told Stoby about was that why doesn't he just check out something like StockTwits, because StockTwits actually has a message volume tracker of like increase and decrease in message volume
Yeah.
activity. Like if you go up to the top of the chart, it'll tell you the message volume and like how much chatter has increased on it. Yeah, so message volume is down by 5%.
But with
Everybody's
earnings
bullish
this
on it.
week,
But yeah,
you thought
everybody's
SNDL was a pump and dump? SNDL is now a debt-free company with $700 million cash in hand that just had a successful acquisition into legalization. That's the play for me. And I know people are going to tell me, yeah, but there's so many outstanding shares and market cap, and it's not worth $5 billion. I don't care about any of that. When the headline reads, SNDL buys whatever company, Curaleaf, Cron, CGC, OGI, whatever it is, right? I mean, look at what happened. Look at what happened to OGI this week, right? This is on the British Tobacco. Like I think that it has this opportunity into legalization with all that cash in hand. I think that they are in a really nice position. What proprietary tech or product do these companies have? That's not the play. So Medica does have proprietary tech. It has orange patents and proprietary tech on its new test kit, which is a first-in-class FDA. So they do have proprietary technology, and they have 3 new designations coming out on it, as well as medication. Test kit, who cares? Vets. Philip Morris is the play. Sure, that's your opinion. It's a great opinion you've got, man. But to say that only one company in a sector is going to be the play, okay. I mean, your opinion is based on what with that? That the last time we had legalization on these stocks in Canada, it size. That's it. Size, market share. Yeah. So you and I are trading 2 completely different things. Then, what are your thoughts on Penn being added to the S&P? Of course it is. Davey Day Trader gets to ring the bell again. Go, Davey. It's your birthday. Sundial equals pets.com. I mean, the upside of it, Tweedledee, is if you don't like it, you don't have to trade it. For me, I like it. I like a company that has no debt and 700 million cash in hand to buy up companies. Exposure to the pot market in Europe, US, and Canada, edibles, organics, dry leaf, medical. They've got great exposure across all the verticals. Um. Okay, what else we got going on? Thursday seems to be a bit of a nothing burger. Is Zom a long hold? I'm holding it at least until the end of the month when you start to see price movement on initial sales numbers. But I've never traded that swaggy strat. I was there for the initial discovery of it, but definitely not for the long run. Is Zom's growth targets are pretty insane in a good way. Yeah. And I like that they're starting small and scaling. So they want to make sure that they deliver on what they're putting out there, which is why they're starting with 3 essays and then they're moving to 5 more, and then they're looking to go for a national expansion. So who knows how it moves on its initial sales launch? But for me, I'm bullish on it into the end of March, start of April. So we'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. Again, I'm looking for somewhere in 8 to 10 on it. So we'll see. We'll see. SNDL for me, guys, as a hold into legalization whenever we get around to it in the U.S. It's going to be a little while. Seeing how quickly Biden is getting around to moving and making things happen for sure. Okay, so that's done. That's done. That's done. That's done. What I wanted to do today, guys, was put together. Where did I put it? It's down here somewhere. This one? Yeah, this one. Rename. AR, VR. Biden is the hare, not the tortoise. Okay. My thoughts on MO are I probably wouldn't play it just because it's outside of kind of my price range that I like to play in. Altria, yeah, this is outside my price range. Okay, so ADES. ECTG. ANE. Why is this just showing? Come on, that's not super useless. This view as page of charts when it has nothing to do with it. IMMR. TRCH. Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Apple, Qualcomm. Looking for tickers in the VR AR space. No, not OTCs. So there's IMMR. Kopn, KOPN. KOPN. AR stocks. I put in AR stocks and it shows me guns. MVIS maybe one. SWKS, PTC. HIMX. Okay. I put UMC in here as well. Okay, so this one is way too big. This one's way too big. But these ones work. Yeah, I always get up 4:30 Larthantos, and I see people losing their mind about the price action pre-market on Zemetica. Like, oh, it's down 10 cents. Everybody run for it. It's all over. Run, run. Then it's like, okay, just breathe. By the end of the day, all will be well. And sure enough. That's crazy, man. I don't play leveraged anything. Whenever I see those triple Qs, and I'm starting to feel that leverage vibe. All right. IMMR, TRCH, Envis, Himex, UMC. I think this is going to be it. So let's go in over here and let's create a new watch list. IDEX. IDXX, I think, is the ticker. Okay. IMMR, TRCH, KOPN, MVIS, HMIX, UMC. Okay. So let's take this and we'll put the entries in. So this is there's 6 here. So let's say 20K a piece is the allocation we're going to put on this. 1746, 1246, 1109, 288. So we'll say 120,000 is the starting capital. Um, M9 divided by B2. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Okay, great. That works. So it's going to be $20,000 positions in each of these, and I'm going to track this for a month and see how it does. 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Just got to check my kiddos real quick. Jury selection on George Floyd is not looking good. Let's take a look. Okay, 7 jurors have been seated of the 14. 4 are white, 3 are people of color, 2 are women. Jury selection to resume Monday morning. City Minneapolis approves $27 million settlement for the Floyd family. This isn't a civil lawsuit. This is not in the criminal lawsuit. This is something different. Judge Peter Cahill has reinstated the third-degree murder charge. So is that all that he's got it, or are they going for the second and third? So there's a white male in his 20s, mixed race woman in her 20s, white male in his 30s, white male in his 30s, black male in his 30s, Hispanic male in his 20s, white woman in her 50s. Well, it says here that the judge has added it in. He's reinstated the third-degree murder charge. So I guess he's being tried for second and third. For the prosecution. Yeah, it doesn't have a ton of that info. I'm there with you. I think DGLY has that opportunity to go for sure. I've got DGLY calls into 2023. So
I was I was saying the opposite. I was saying that I think unless we have national coverage of this situation, like the media is just bored and they want to magnify this thing, I don't think that DGLY would actually be extremely relevant unless, because let's face it, if it doesn't come out with like anything against that individual, the public's gonna riot anyways, or the people around there are just gonna try to incite riots. And especially because if someone get certain people get shot or something like that, yeah, I could imagine like DGLY skyrocketing. But this is all predicated on the news wanting to make this a national thing and try to like essentially signal boost this thing.
yeah, I mean, for me, it's going to be the OJ trial of our time. It's going to be a big deal.
I don't know. My thing is always, where's the attention at? Is it going to be like national thing?
I think they get him on Murder 3. I don't think he gets. I think they've got a really piss poor case for Murder 2, but I think they might have a chance at Murder 3. Mm. So, guys, you have to realize also that protests and social outrage have seasonality. Okay? And what I mean by that is this: ain't nobody want to be in a protest in the middle of February in Buffalo, Detroit, or Chicago. Okay? Ain't happening. As you move into spring and summer and things get hotter, that's when you start to see these protests escalate again. There's always a bit of a lull through winter, and then as the weather gets warmer again, you start to see more protest riots, that kind of stuff. So, but we are coming into this trial through spring, through summer. I think there is a lot of potential for this to be a catalyst. Now, my DGLY calls are for 2023, guys. So, um, with that, I've got to hit. It's got to hit 250 by 2023. Um, I think with their thermal vision tents, the NFL reopening, cruise lines reopening, and and mandates on travel with fevers or signs of COVID, I think DJLY has a really great opportunity now. Um, Body cams, dashboard cams are going to be a big part of the discussion around these trials as they happen. So I think that's definitely going to be a thing. But yeah, I've got till 2023 for this thing to make a move to 250. I think I'm going to be just fine. Looking at this over 5 years, so this fell. This fell. This was March of. This was back. This was 2019. It fell from like 4 all the way down to $1.50, and then continued to decline. And then we saw a massive resurgence on it up to like $5. I think that this is where it comes up to. This is where it lives, is that 5-6 range. Um, maybe, maybe I mean, I don't think that Axiom needs to. This is for California. Chemath was rumored. It looks like we're going to see more and more celebrities and high profile people looking at political office. There's another one, Texas, governor of Texas, Matthew McConaughey is considering running for governor of Texas. Um, who knows? You can get this Biden. You can get the stimulus direct deposit as soon as this weekend. Wells Fargo and Chase. Awkward. Um, Oh boy. All right, lots of people tweeting anything of value here as far as trends go. Stimmy's trending, of course. Side effects from viruses or vaccines are normal and expected. Okay. Anybody get their vaccine yet? Anybody in chat got their vaccine? Anybody get vaccinated? Anybody running off to get vaccinated? Afternoon problem, professional. Adam, what one did you get? If you guys are willing to share, which one did you get? Pfizer's? Moderna. J&J. Okay, so there is some variety in what's out there. Numb arm, and that was it? Alright, that's not so bad. Yeah, Rampage, that's a good idea. I mean, I'm still not rushing out to get these, but I, as a white male in his 30s with no pre-existing conditions, and I'm not immunocompromised, I think I'll probably be in that last list of people to get it. Um, Actually, I think the only reason why I would get it is if they require it for international travel. If they don't require it for international travel, I probably just won't get it. I wonder, when you need a COVID vaccine,
I'd also check on our return country's stupid policy of keeping you in a quarantine in a hotel or some shit like that.
yeah, I'm not planning to travel until September. Do I feel like there's a downside to getting it? As with any new medication, we don't see the fallout from a new medication for 5 to 10 years afterwards. So the downside is it's not tested. And guys, when I say it's not been tested, I know a lot of people are going to be on my ass of like, wow, they went through all these testing processes and procedures. I've been reading every medical report out of every one of these companies all along the way. They cut corners. They merged phase one, phase two. They didn't like. There's a lot of steps that normally would have been in place that they've just cut loose. And the media and the spin from the CDC and the NIAID um, is that, oh no, it's okay, just because we did it faster doesn't mean that we didn't do our due diligence and take all the steps. It's like, well, there's no way for you to test what the long-term ramifications of this vaccine are because you haven't had the time to do that. It's just a sheer time thing. You guys got this done in 6 months. There's no way that you can tell me what the after effects of a year are on these vaccines, or 2 years, or 3 years. So if somebody is, and this is why I got to say, guys, it has to be up to you and your own lifestyle. Okay, you guys have to make your own choices. Uh, Educate yourself, make your own decisions, do whatever. But I essentially live in quarantine anyway, right? I work at home. I'm in a home office. My wife is at home with the kids. We homeschool our children. We don't really send our kids into public on the regular, right? They've got their dance classes, and my kids are frontline workers. They work in a grocery store. They work in whatever, but for the most part, our lifestyle is not one that I'm a doctor or I'm a teacher and I'm in a public space all the time. My kids don't attend a public school, so I might have a different opinion if that was the case. But for us, we live in a relative state of quarantine on the regular. So I, for one, will not be getting it. Now, what they are saying is, well, there's enough people that are going to be going out to get it to achieve herd immunity. Okay, great. Then if herd immunity is possible and plausible given the amount of vaccines that have gone out, then it shouldn't be an issue whether I get it or not. Shouldn't matter. Um, I hear a lot of the same narrative around this as I do around the flu vaccine. Like, well, you should get it because you might get somebody who's elderly sick because of yada yada yada. Okay, I guess. Yeah, I am seeing a lot of that. Elderly, immunocompromised medics, teachers, military, deployed military, I should say, they've got priority. That makes sense. Well, and I mean that's true with every vaccine, right? What they've done is their best guess. Well, my big concern on this is, guys, what I think you're going to see happen over the next couple of years is going to be you will get a combo vaccine every year now. You'll get a flu vaccine, and then you will get some kind of a SARS, MERS, CoV vaccine. So, um, I think that's what we're going to see happening moving forward is that like you'll go into your Rite Aid or whatever. Um, you should post some CDC info. All of my videos from the past year, guys, are up and available on YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel and watch. I have done endless hours of reading through these medical reports, what they're trying to achieve, what they're not trying to achieve. So you're welcome to go back and sort through the videos. I don't feel as though I'm complicit to posting CDC info. You guys are welcome to go in and do that breakdown on your own. All that information is readily available. If you're not sure what kind of vaccine you want to get, the other thing that you can do is ask your doctor. There you go. You can hop in there and go through all the vaccines and take a look at how they were tested and what the potential side effects are. And that's not just your COVID vaccines; that's any vaccine on the planet. The CDC is going to put in your arm. So that's there for you guys to use at your leisure. I'm confident in the hours that I put in that my mom, my dad, my sister, my mom and my dad for sure are definitely immunocompromised. My mom and my dad, so I haven't seen them in over a year. Um, my sister is looking after them, so she's technically, in that bubble of immunocompromised. So I haven't been able to really see her either. So they're all going to get the vaccine, and that's great. But they also know that nobody in my family is getting the vaccine. So, uh, you know, please, please, please make your own decisions. Those guys. That's what I'm getting at is like educate yourself, ask your physician, understand what you're doing, make a decision, make an informed decision, just like anything, right? Um, Gonna check out tile. You think you'll redo your bathroom? Nice. Um, okay. Rides in Myanmar. Later, Frey. I probably won't be here. We'll probably be heading out of here sometime soon. I have a couple of kiddos downstairs that need some watching. I've got some other stuff to do. I've got this wicked headache that is just pounding in my skull right now. It is going to be. I mean, we've broken down the week for the most part, guys. By the way, Andrew Lowe's Adaptive Theory was the book of the week this week. I'm about halfway through, so I got to finish listening to that as well. Definitely recommend it. For those of you that have heard of the effective markets theory or the efficient market theory or hypothesis, depending on which one you've been in the circles of. This book is a direct counterpoint to EMT. I wouldn't say a direct counterpoint, but do you have a video of you finding companies and stocks before you start DD? So we did that a little bit earlier today when I was looking for ARVR stocks. So I have a list of 6 ARVR stocks here, and then I'm going to go in and understand what each of these are. IMMR is a design kits, digital touch, APIs, firmware, haptic experiences. This is for the controllers and whatnot. What's the title again? Adaptive Markets. How do I go starting out? I start out with an idea, and then I find stocks that fit inside the concept of the idea, and then I explore those stocks until I find one or two plays that I really, really like, and then I back test that idea to see if there's any potential for it. Greater fool theory. There is one theory that I like to try to apply to the markets, and it's called disaster theory. Now, typically, this is done for global stuff, right? So we're talking ecology. But disaster theory is the idea that um, instead of over time things just having this steady flow and the world reacting with volcanoes and tsunamis and landslides is a sign that something is out of whack with the environment, that we are doing something detrimental to the environment. Instead, the concept is that those things, those tsunamis, tidal waves, hurricanes, typhoons, all of those natural disasters occur in order to create a balance and equilibrium. It is a natural part of the environment for those things to occur, not to correct something that's wrong. They're intended to be there in order to regulate everything in the world. They would have happened anyway. So the problem with a lot of the environmental data that we have is it's very narrow in span, right? People are talking about global warming is having this huge effect, but in reality, the footprint that we have in tracking that is like 1,000 years, 1,500 years. But we're talking about a macro event where we're affecting the entire global ecosystem in 1,500 years, when people make the claim that we've been here for 2.5 billion or whatever, right? The fact that we would be able to have such a massive effect that is resulting in an increase in natural disasters, for me, is off base. It's kind of the other way around, that natural disasters naturally occur and are meant to occur in order to regulate everything that's happening. Now, how would I apply disaster theory to the market? When shit hits the fan in the market, it's supposed to happen. So when we look at a timeline, right? Major stock market crashes. What we see is from the Tulip Mania in 1600s, which is a super famous one in the Netherlands, all the way down till 2020. There's a great list here of these events in the market where a disaster happens, right? And understanding that over periods of time, these disasters are common and they seem to happen in spurts, right? Would be similar to, okay, hurricane season. We know hurricane season coming. We know fire season's coming. We know that we're seeing an increase in tidal waves or whatever it is, right? They seem to happen in groups. We seem to get them all around the same time. And then we see a period of rest, and then we see an additional influx of those things. So what I'm looking at is, okay, well, here we can see from
The 1630s was an isolated incident, but they have the tulip thing here because it's historical. 1720, we had France and Europe both, and UK both have it. We've got 1760, 1770, the US and the UK going through something. 1791, 1796, again, the US and UK. So it's about 20-year gap there, right? And then 1820, again, another 20-year gap, and we see something. 1847, this was almost every decade, these panics. Black Friday, 1869. So it'd be about 40 years after the last big one. 1869 to 1882, Paris crash. So, like, just looking at this and trying to get a feel for, okay, kind of the 1890s, there was another one. Let's move into the 1900s here. So 1900s, big one, obviously 1929, right? So this is the big Wall Street crash, the one started the Great Depression. So 1929. The next recession was about 12 years later. Next recession was the Kennedy slide, the flash crash of 1962 was about, I mean, there was a war in between here, but it was about 25 years. Then it's a decade before we see events again. Then it's a decade. Black Monday 1987 was a famous day in history. And then the next event that we have is from the 90s. So 87 through 90 is one of those periods. And we don't really see anything else in the US until 2000. So about a decade later, right? And this was the dot-com bubble. It's about 8 years later, we get into a recession. And that goes through into 2011. And then it's about 5 years after that. And then last year, of course, we had that 5 year drop as well. So it looks like every 5 years or so is kind of where we're at right now. Is this process of rise, fall, rise, fall, rise, fall now. People may claim that the stock market didn't crash enough, and because it's bounced back, that we are overdue for another fall. I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll see. Coming out of times of global crisis, typically we see economies flourish. I think after World War One, World War Two, we saw times of economic prosperity. I think that's probably what we're going to see heading out of COVID here as things reopen and economies turn back on, is that we're going to see a time of prosperity. But I don't think that 2025, 2024 would be off in expecting some kind of a decline to come. But that's kind of how I'm looking to apply that to this. Is notice the disasters, notice the timing on them, the spacing of them, and try to plan for it. Anyway, this headache is freaking killing me, guys. So I think I'm going to call it for the day. It was an absolute blast hanging out with you guys. I do have that portfolio started at the very least. So let's go to Twitch and see who else is on here today. Wall Street Bets new. Have an amazing weekend, guys. I will not be here Monday. Monday, my buddy is in town. I'm gonna go play some tabletop games. I'm gonna take a bit of a day off, but I will be back Tuesday. All right. We'll be back Tuesday. Where do I do the raid? Where's the raid a channel? Wall Street Bets new. There we go. All right, guys, if you're subs, make sure that you drop them a beaver. Absolute blast hanging out with you guys as always. Please, please, please take the time. Make sure you're following. Make sure I can catch you next week, and I will see you all later. Be kind, rewind, say hi to Wall Street Bets later.